Welcome to the Mayhem News live wrestling broadcast with your host, the Man in Black, a.k.a. Team Lives. And each week, we are here to talk about wrestling headlines and cover everything from Impact Wrestling to SmackDown. Join us each Tuesday via MayhemNews.com and the Mayhem News Live YouTube channel. You can subscribe to both and always keep up with our show and wrestling news. Welcome to Mayhem News Live Wrestling Broadcast for 12/17/2013. And this is the Man in Black, a.k.a. TV Oblivious. And we've got a big show today. We're going to be covering most of the shows that happened this week. I don't have anything on Ring Warriors this week, so we won't be covering Ring Warriors. As soon as I get out another show, we'll put out a show. I'll add them to the show notes. Start off with headlines. Many people talking about possible face turn for Antonio Cesaro. He's gotten really popular with his little swing move, and the fans are really reacting to it. And you know, their reaction is really positive. The reason why they haven't went forward with it, apparently they're trying to come up with something to do with Zeb Coulter and Swagger to break them off, and but not just leave them in the lurch, you know. So we'll just have to see, you know, what comes of that. We saw this with a little bit of that on Raw, the big swing being interrupted. So maybe they're trying to back off of that a little bit until they can decide what to do with Zeb Coulter and Swagger. So WWE and DK Publishing celebrate 50 years of WWE history by revealing the WWE 50 DVD. It will celebrate the 50 years of WWE. This was announced on December the 11th, 2013. So that'd be a DVD I wouldn't mind owning just to be able to see. WWE's also made some corporate changes. Stephanie McMahon, who is the chief brand officer, will no longer be involved in creative side of the business. She's being set up as the new face of WWE. They are trying to kind of move away from this being a Vince McMahon company to basically allow Stephanie to be the face of the business side, and this will bring in, let people know that it's trying to be child oriented. Women oriented. They want families involved. So, it's a good idea. Some people are saying it's a good idea that she's not involved in the creative side. But, I don't know. She is a McMahon. It's in her genes. So is Triple H. Never mind. Anyway, let's see. There's an update on a story from Louisiana, the teen boy who had used wrestling-type moves to basically, it ended up killing his half-sister. There's an update on that. The boy has been sentenced to a secure juvenile facility for 3 years for killing his 5-year-old half-sister. 3 years, do we think it's enough? Do we think that's a little, the guy, he was a kid, but what happened to the parents, the mother who left this child alone? People do it all the time. I just don't know, it kind of depends on the boy, I guess, depends on the person. But apparently he is going to be going through some therapy to help him deal with some anger management and issues, stuff like that. So, we wish him luck, and we hate that this happened. But, you can't be doing wrestling moves. That's why they say that don't try this at home. Don't. I just wouldn't try it at home because you can hurt somebody and hurt yourself. WWE and the 49ers CEO confirmed that WrestleMania 31 will be at the 49ers' new stadium in 2015. That is in Santa Clara, California. The City of Philadelphia spokesperson stated that the report that Santa Clara was chosen for WrestleMania 31 due to their lukewarm interest in WrestleMania was false. So some people were saying that Philadelphia didn't seem very interested. Philadelphia says, that ain't the truth. I'm pretty sure as much money as they know everybody makes from WrestleMania events in their town, I'm pretty sure they weren't lukewarm about it. So we'll see. Had a lot of bad press from the celebration and dedication to the troops show. Apparently AJ Lee, and we'll just call her a media representative, basically this is a person that's known CM Punk for a while. There are some talk that maybe they had actually dated a couple of times or had been seeing each other, off and on for years. And basically she, walked by him being funny and doing like she always does to him and told him, hello, blank face. We'll insert explicative. And apparently AJ Lee was there and she went off. She was either totally a character or is just crazy in real life. We don't know. Apparently it was embarrassing to WWE. This was a big event. It was supposed to be, a big thing. And yeah. Now, they said she was supposed to be punished for this incident. But that's a real big punishment when she was allowed to retain her title at the pay-per-view. I think she ought to had to lose it. And I also think that Punk needs to be kind of said something too about the comments he made about after it. This is a person you're supposed to be friends with, and all of a sudden your girlfriend goes crazy. Yeah. Anyway, TNA drew a 1.11 rating. That is up from the 1.0 rating from last week. That equals to 1.3 million viewers. Maybe getting rid of Bischoff and getting rid of Hogan leaving, and might actually bring their ratings up. I don't know. This is kind of a funny news story. Matt Hardy actually giving program advice to TNA. Okay, wait. Matt Hardy, you don't need to be giving advice to nobody. The best thing you and your girlfriend or wife or whatever the hell she is now can do is not give anybody advice. I'm sorry. Technology Tell, which is I think a web-based magazine and also a magazine, reports that WWE has sent out an invitation to the International CES event in January, and basically they have said they will be revealing a groundbreaking announcement. Could it be the WWE Network launch? We'll just have to see. WWE is being really, really quiet. And the reason why I'm interested in the WWE Network is this. Okay, if you're doing stuff like I'm doing, which is commentary about WWE, and you want to see every pay-per-view, I would like to see every pay-per-view. Now, basically, if WWE doesn't convince me, to borrow a phrase from David Hero from the PWR show, if they don't convince me, also I can give credit to Damian Nelson too. He's actually used this phrase before. So if they don't convince me to buy it, convince me that it's worth $40 to $50 for me to pay for it, I'm not going to buy it. It would be nice if I could get everyone. Well, if they do what they say they're going to do with the network, whether it is digitally through your Xbox or it's through your whatever, if it's something you have to access through one of your devices, that's fine. If it's not something that's through my cable network, that's fine. I don't mind that. I'll be glad to pay for it, especially if they do what they say they're going to do. Now, this was what was proposed, that there would be, the WrestleMania would be one you would have to buy, pay-per-view. But other than that, other than maybe a few of the smaller pay-per-views, you would get the pay-per-views for your price that you paid each month for the WWE Network. And it's a good concept, because think about it. If you've got 3 million people signing up for $14.95 a month, that's a whole shitload of money. So, why would they charge those people for pay-per-views? They do have this in the UK and several other countries where people like Sky Sports and other people have made arrangements where there's only certain pay-per-views they pay for because it's actually part of their prescription price. So, I think it would be wise. I think it would get more people into it. People that can't afford $50, a month and sometimes twice a month here lately, it seems. But, I think it would be wise. Plus, they're going to add other programming too. So, I figure that, plus they're in the process of renegotiating their TV rights contract. So, all that is going to come into play. So, it has been reported that by AJ Styles on his Twitter that contract negotiations with TNA have stopped as of now, the first time since 2011, or I think even later, since the inception of TNA, which he was there from ground zero, from the start. He does not have a wrestling contract with anybody. He has announced that he is available for indie bookings. Okay, WWE. Time to bring out the checkbook. And if you can't get Sting, get AJ Styles. That's a foot in the door. Then you can get all those other people that you need to get from TNA quickly. Okay? It's time to go. Get AJ now. Okay? Sign him. He needs to be in the WWE. And he needs to be given a push. If you really wanted to piss off CM Punk, Triple H, you could actually hire AJ and actually put him with AJ Lee. Yeah, that would pretty much piss Punk off. I'm pretty much guess. Of course, AJ's a married guy, but still, it's all on TV. All right, we're going to move on to TNA Impact Wrestling. Rude and Angle pretty much tearing to each other to start off the show. Angle's kind of went back to his, unstoppable. He's pretty intense here recently, which Rude is always that way, so that makes why they feed off of each other. Bad Influence and versus Park and Young can, basically they continue to push that Park equals Abyss storyline, and with Park actually getting the win with the Black Hole Slam after Young causes him to bleed. Young tells Park the reason why you can't find your brother Abyss is because you're Abyss. And the crowd actually chants this repeatedly. So Sting actually confronts Ethan Carter III, which is the biggest joke. I mean, it's even worse than Ryback. Okay? I usually just mute it. I don't want to hear it. I'm sorry. I don't care that he's supposed to be Dixie Carter's nephew or some bull. It's just stupid. Anyway, but Sting basically tells him he's full of crap. Big LOL on my part. I'm serious. Way to go, Sting. Sting made a weird Facebook note the other day. He said, stuff just got real, and stuff like that. And I kept thinking about it, and I was like, I wonder if he ain't trying to hint. And immediately, the comments, looked at the comment section, WWE, Sting, people are talking. I know some people tell you that you need to stay in TNA, but we want you in the WWE. I mean, I'm pretty sure 90% of your fans would not care where you are. You could be in Ring Warriors. It wouldn't matter to us as long as you were wrestling. I would love to see you versus The Undertaker. From a long-time Sting fan. But, you have to go where you want, I mean, I know that there was a lot of talk because they were actually live, they were going around the things, which we thought, well, if I'm going to do that, I might as well go, if Sting was thinking would be, well, if I'm going to do that, I might as well go for the big bucks. Well, now that they're going back to Orlando, I don't know. It's a big toss-up, so we'll just have to see. Madison Rayne returns to TNA, and this is another reason why the Knockouts division is kicking the Divas division's ass on TV right now. You've got Gail Kim, you've got ODB, you've got Topa. Well, she's there. She's got talent. I mean, come on, Now you got Madison Rayne back. There's only a few of them. There's not that many knockouts. You've got Velvet Sky. I mean, but they're really, compared to the Divas division in WWE, there's not that many of them. But they're still kicking their ass on TV, even with this Total Divas show. You got to get busy, okay? TNA's kicking your ass with the knockouts, so you need to get on the ball. Austin Aries, who makes good TV, I don't care. He's ratings. I'm sorry. Defeats Saban to become the new X Division champ. It was actually a decent show. For a 1.11 rating, hey, it was a decent show. I have to give him that. There have been few and far between here lately, but, hey. Moving on to SmackDown, Daniel Bryan defeats Rowan via DQ with Bryan King actually getting to Bray Wyatt and actually hitting him with the knee, the flying knee, which, I thought that was pretty good. Goldust and Cody loses to the Real Americans. But Goldust and Cody lose to the Real Americans. It was an excellent match, well put out. Henry defeats Sandow by counting out when Sandow walks away. If I was in the match with Mark Henry, I might decide, I think I'm going to leave. But it kind of keeps both of them in a strong sense before the pay-per-view. So AJ and Tamina defeat the Bella Twins in a short but decent match. Shield defeat the Usos. And Ryback falls to the Big Show in a decisive match for the Big Show. Big Show wasn't pulling no punches, no pun intended. As usually the show was okay, but for me it was only a 5 out of 10. So it was kind of a weak showing. TLC pay-per-view. Yet another week. Less than prorated pay-per-view for WWE. I don't know. I'm sorry. Been pretty psychic so far as not buying certain ones and not buying, certain pay-per-views because I just kind of knew it wasn't going to be. I did put the highlights. There wasn't many, but, the Shield faces CM Punk. And actually, CM Punk wins via a missed spear. Reigns actually hit Ambrose and caused Punk to win. It's funny, just as I start to like CM Punk again, he makes some douchebag comment or makes some douchebag tweet or something like that just stops that in its tracks. And this stuff with AJ and the things that he's made after, I don't know. And he claims to be an atheist. And I've got some info for you, Punk. Most true to life atheists don't announce it because they don't lower their self in a true atheist thing. They don't lower their self by fussing about people and bragging that they're atheists. They don't. This woman that jumped up and down because prayer was in school, she was not an atheist. She wanted to be on TV. She wanted to be famous, but she was, to me, compared to the definition for a true atheist, she might have been. Found her body. Yeah, and they still haven't found her body. Now, she might have been an agnostic who, just thinks that religion isn't for them. But the fact is that she wanted to be famous. So, if you're gonna be an atheist, be one. But bragging, does not care if there's prayer. Bragging about it is, I don't know. And I hate to tell you, but most people that are in a really, really bind and they feel their life is threatened, the first thing they say is, God help me. So, and I was a nurse for 13 years. I've actually been there when people die. And, yeah. Anyway. Natalya loses to AJ. Don't get me wrong. AJ is a great diva wrestler. She can actually wrestle. And for her size, she is but her antics off camera should have caused her to lose to Natalya. First of all, Natalya needs to be Divas champ anyway. I mean, we're talking she has, and to quote her on her drunk calls to Stephanie McMahon, she has a lineage that cannot be ignored. And the fact is that just like you did with Mickie James, you're giving AJ more credit and giving her the Divas Championship. You know, a lot of it has to do that she's so dainty and she's so pretty. And I hate to tell you, but Natalya got to beat her looks. I mean, here's AJ. Here's Natalya. There's a difference. Divas are women. Okay? Women. There's a reason why Michelangelo called the women, it was during the Renaissance. A Renaissance woman does not look like this. I'm sorry. I don't want to look at TV and all these guys go, oh, AJ is so hot. She looks like a 13-year-old girl. That ain't sexy. Natalya looks like a woman. So did Beth Phoenix. So did Mickie James. And hell, I'll be honest, so does the Bellas. I mean, one of them's kind of, but she does look like a woman. I mean, you want to push somebody that looks like a diva? Natalya is the person you need to be pushing. Okay? You need to be pushing people that can wrestle. Like all this crap that you've been pushing with Kelly. Instead of having a blonde Kelly, we got a redheaded Eva. Eva couldn't wrestle herself out of a wet paper bag with scissors strapped to her hand. She couldn't get out. And I've seen Bill DeMott teach people. I just don't know why he ain't going, girl ain't gonna make it. Girl ain't gonna make it. Sorry. She need to get up. If she's gonna act like she got skills, she need to have skills. And she don't. Because WWE's worried about their divas being so fail on WWE's part by not letting Natalya win.
The fabulous Moolah.
Yeah. I mean, look at her. Look. She got a perfect point. The fabulous Moolah. I mean, the two women that you push as the beginning of the Divas division years and years and years ago look nothing like AJ Lee.
Wrestle.
Yeah, and they could wrestle. Anyway, Big E defeats Sandow in one of the only few highlights. I mean, there were some highlights, but there were few and far between. Fatal 4-way, probably the best match of the night. Goldust Cody retains the tag title, but that was a great match. Every team put out a great show in that match. The Wyatts defeat Bryan's second best match of the night. I mean, Daniel Bryan, they call him Goat Face, and they call him this, they call him that. Daniel Bryan needs a t-shirt. When in doubt, pull a move out your ass. Because, I mean, he be pulling moves out, and people be like, wait a minute, let me back that up. Where'd that move come from? What the hell? Holy shit, where'd that come from? He is like the Dean Malenko of this age. Okay, I think Dean Malenko be in the back going, yeah, I like that kid. He like me. Anyway, let's see. The fact that Cena versus Orton was no DQ match meant it was basically, it was destined to be a shit match. You knew that Randy Orton was going to pull out some way to win. Handcuffs, And I'm sorry. I know Orton comes off and he's supposed to be a heel, but he comes off as an asshole way too easy. It makes you wonder if the rumors aren't true that he's really one in real life. I don't mind him being champion, but the fact is his, I'm sorry. We'll get to it. I'll go on into that a little more when we get to Raw. Okay, another Raw opened up with all the stars on stage. I just want to Triple H sometimes. I mean, all the stars on stage. Do we have to start the show like that? I'm sorry. Excuse me. By the way, if you haven't watched Raw yet, right after this, there is a Orton promo alert. Yawn, yawn, yawn. That's my new alert for Orton's promos, by the way. I mean, Cena had it right. Thank God he interfered. I mean, Cena's promos are iffy sometimes, yeah, and long-winded. But thank God he interfered and gave a rundown of, because that's pretty much what he was going to say the rest of the promo. And awesome show again put on by Goldust, The Big Show, and Rey Mysterio and Cody. Great match, for both teams. To me, it was awesome. Ziggler makes his win and match against Fandango worth the time. I mean, Fandango, I kind of respect him a little more than I know he's serious about his character. But Ziggler, you can't lose with a match with Ziggler. I'm sorry. Whether he's winning or losing, he's selling. I'm sorry. He's just awesome. All right, World's Strongest Tag match defeats the Real Americans, and as I talked about before, we saw that somebody actually interfered with the swing, the big swing. So they're kind of toning that down until they can do what they want to do with Zeb and Swagger. But you put Big E, team him up with Mark Henry. Wow, that's like putting a steamroller in some tights and saying, "There you go." Brutus Clay goes full heel on Sweet Tea. I think we finally seen the completion of Tons of Fun. I think maybe they're going to make Brutus an all-out heel. We've seen the Funkadactyls get in there with R-Truth and them and start dancing. So Punk and the Usos team up, and this was a voted on match. They voted for the Usos. The Shield actually wins the match. Probably the second best of the night. AJ and Tamina and Alicia Fox defeat the Bellas and Natalya. But now I got news for Michael Cole. But to say that AJ Lee's last kick that won the match was a Shining Wizard is an insult, because that was not a Shining Wizard. Okay, you need to review some footage. And, I don't particularly go along with a lot of things Shane Helms says. But there was nobody that did a Shining Wizard better than Shane Helms, and that was not even close. She basically punted her in the face. That was not a Shining Wizard. A Shining Wizard is a kick in the middle of, usually they're in midair. She was less than 2 feet off the ground when she kicked her in the head. It's not a Shining Wizard. Anyway. Orton versus Bryan was the best match of the night. Unfortunately, it was ruined by Orton's low blow. And him holding, looking so pitiful holding the belts. If we're going to call it the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, why not drop the other belt? Why? Why not? Just go ahead and drop it. Get it away. That's pretty much been the show this week. I had a lot to cover this week. No Ring Warriors this week. As soon as they have a show, I'll add it to our next show. We're here every Tuesday. Usually I try to post a show by 5 o'clock. Sometimes it doesn't work. Depends on what's going on. Depends on if YouTube's working right or something like that. As always, I want to give a shout out to my sponsors. Zach Pack Promotions. You can find them at ZachPackPromotions.com. You can also look for Zach Pack Promotions on Facebook and at ZPack Promotions on Twitter. I want to give a shout out to my next sponsor, which is Filler Throttle and his band and their band Throttle. They gave us our theme song, which I've done a new intro to the show, so you'll be able to hear them and hear me talking. That is New Blood by Throttle. They have a new album out. It's called Reservoir Finish Line. Right now, everything's on Amazon and iTunes, but I know at their shows they're actually selling CDs. So that's my second one. And then I want to give also talk about Fight Disability Slurs .wordpress.com, which is mine and my wife's thing. We're trying to stop slurs in general, but mainly we're really pushing the disability slurs. And so if you have a child on Xbox Live and places like that, you need to watch what they're saying, because the words with like the R word and some other things that people use toward disabilities need to be stopped, because it's no longer used in medical terms anymore. Rose's Law took care of that. And but as always, I want to say a shout out to Blast 52, an Irish band. You can find them on Facebook now. You can also find them on YouTube. And basically, their banner will have their Amazon and iTunes link. So I appreciate it. So that's been the show today. And, we try to be here every Tuesday. We have special reports when something comes up. So keep us. You can follow us at mayhem-news.com or at youtube.com. And you can also subscribe on both of those channels. I appreciate it. And that's been the show for today. I'm gone.